Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on the objectives, syllabus, and activities in cooperative language learning. I hope and expect by the end of this session, you would have some know-how of the objectives of CLL, and you would also understand the nature of the syllabus and the kind of activities that are used in CLL. Well, my dear students, when it comes to the objectives, overall objectives of CLL include the following. Number one, to foster cooperation rather than competition. So the main spirit of CLL is to extend cooperation as group work or as pair work in the classroom than to inculcate a sense of competition. The second important objective is to develop critical thinking skills. Thirdly, to develop communicative competence through socially structured interaction activities, and the purpose is the objective serves the purpose that the students or the learners then would be able to communicate in real life situations. As far as the syllabus or the nature of the syllabus in CLL is concerned, well, CLL does not assume any particular form of language syllabus. There are different kinds of activities from a wide variety of curriculum or variety of curriculum orientations that can be taught via cooperative learning. So the contents are not the focus, I would say, in cooperative language learning. The focus is how to use those contents, and the spirit of cooperation has to be used, as a backdrop for them. Thus, we find that CLL used in teaching content classes, ESP, the 4 skills, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary, all kind of contents are used. What defines CLL or this cooperative language learning is the systematic and carefully planned use of group-based procedures that are cooperation-oriented in teaching as an alternative to teacher-fronted teaching. Not only the students have to extend or they are expected to extend cooperation towards each other, but also, when it comes to the role of the teacher also has to establish a kind of relationship with the students where the teacher facilitates this cooperation in the classroom. There are different types of learning and teaching activities that are used in CLL. Johnson et al. 1994 described 3 types of cooperative learning groups. The first is formal cooperative learning groups. Now, these groups last from one class period to several weeks. These smaller groups are formed within the classroom. They carry on doing activities to the duration of several classes. These are established for a specific task and involve students working together to achieve shared learning. Informal cooperative learning groups are the second type, and these are ad hoc groups that last for a few minutes to a classroom period, and they actually focus to they are used to focus student attention or to facilitate the learning during a direct teaching process. So they are for short term, they are for a very small activity within a classroom just for a while or to the duration or length of one classroom. The third type of groups is of cooperative-based groups. These are long-term groups, and these are lasting for at least a year or a semester, and they consist of heterogeneous learning groups with stable memberships. So the members retain their membership of the group, whose primary purpose is to allow members to give each other support, to provide help to each other, and to extend cooperation to each other in the process of learning. Numerous descriptions exist of activities and the types of activities that are used in a CLL classroom. Coelho 1992 has described 3 major kinds. The first kind is the team practice from common input, that is skills development and the mastery of facts. And all students work on the same material in this kind of activities. The second type of activities or the material is of jigsaws. They are differentiated by predetermined input. Evaluation and synthesis of facts and opinions is done through this. Each group member receives a different piece of the information, and actually all the students have to synthesize each piece of information that is held by or that is possessed by each of the members of the group in the class. they have to interact to bring all those pieces together to fit into the jigsaw puzzle, to solve, or to find the totality of the total information or the wholesome information that is to be understood then through the process of interacting and cooperating with other members. The third type of activities that are used is the cooperative projects or the topics or the resources that are selected by students. This is called discovery learning. The students actually select topics that may be different for each group, and then the students identify subtopics for each group members. And actually one bigger topic is taken with a certain theme, and certain sub-themes are given to different students in the group. They work in cooperation on these sub-themes to produce the desirable work on that particular theme or on a particular topic. Steering committee may also coordinate the work of the class, and the students research the information using different resources such as libraries, internet, visual media, etc. Think, pair, share is another way of doing activities in a communicative, cooperative classroom environment, where the teacher poses a question which is generally a low consensus question. Now, since the question is quite debatable, the students think of a response and the students discuss their responses with their partners in pairs in the classroom. These students then share these responses in the class. Solve, pair, share is another technique that is used. Teacher poses a problem, again a problem that has different kinds of solutions, and to solve that, the students work out solutions individually, then they explain to their peers or to the other peers in the pair how they solved the problem. Numbered heads is another way of doing activities. Students number off in teams and the teacher asks a question that is usually of high consensus. Heads together is another way of doing activities in this cooperative environment, where the students literally put their heads together and they make sure everyone knows and can explain the answer. So this actually is in line with the true spirit of cooperative language learning, where cooperation is the basic way of learning. Teacher calls a number and students with that number raise their hands to be called on, and they would respond to the teacher's question. So this happens as it happens in a traditional classroom. So I hope you would have understood that in a cooperative language classroom, varied type of activities can be used, and they can be borrowed from different approaches and different methods. The only thing that the teacher needs to take care of is that the environment in the classroom should be of cooperation, not of competition.